we're gonna go ahead and watch is an 8-minute video, and this video is called the most painful motorcycle deaths ever. So let's go ahead and see how that's working, bro. Let's see how's that's working, bro. The painful. Yo, does anybody want to ride a motorcycle? There is nothing in life that like really wants me to ride a motorcycle like that. Like I really can't see myself riding no motorcycle in life. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I'm gonna be honest, bro. So let's go ahead and see though, bro. Let's see, bro. Yeah, that journey, bro. My dad loves a motorcycle, but he got into an accident, bro. The motorcycle accidents I be hearing about would be like, I be hearing some crazy shit. I own an e-bike, so it's basically the same thing. What's it? Electronic bike?
The face incident. In the summer of 2021, on a remote highway in Turkey, a young man deeply in love with his motorcycle woke up to a nice sunny day and decided that it was the best time to take his bike out for a spin. A nice leather jacket with protective boots, gloves, and a helmet was what this man quickly threw on before going out for the ride. Just kidding, he decided that he didn't want to wear any of that since it's a hot summer day.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, he's cooked. He's not gonna make it. I'm not gonna lie. If you're riding a motorcycle without no helmet, you're actually a crash dummy, bro. Like, it's actually cooked for you.
But on the bright side, at least he decided to keep his helmet on.
Oh, he got a helmet,
right?
Okay. Well, never mind.
After making sure that he was wearing no protective gear at all, this rider would then take his sport bike for a nice calm ride of 120 miles per hour.
120 miles, gang, per hour, and you have no safety gear on? She's not gonna make it, bro. This nigga about to, I'm not gonna lie, this nigga about to be mingled for NAF 2, bro.
After hitting the highways, the rider couldn't contain himself and began speeding as fast as possible on his bike.
Bro,
however, unbeknownst to him, a steep turn with a guardrail would appear on the highway out of nowhere. Unable to correct his path in time, he was flung from the bike and hurled face first into the corner of a steel guardrail. The impact was so violent that it completely removed the entire front of his head and face. His eyes, nose, jaw, and facial skin were instantly torn away, leaving only the back of his skull intact.
That's the least painful one? Dang, that sounds terrible. It sounds like, nigga, that sounds like Final Destination type shit. It's crazy. Do y'all think if he was wearing safety gear, he would have survived that at 120 though?
Bystanders who
he was already, like, I'm not gonna lie, this nigga was tripping.
Arrived moments later could hardly process what they were seeing. It looked less like an accident and more like a war zone. They searched for his body, and upon a glimpse, were instantly traumatized, since it didn't really look like a human anymore. Bystanders did what they could, but unfortunately, he never had a chance. Emergency responders pronounced him unresponsive at the scene.
Fuck, bro, that was terrible. Yeah, if you want to ride a motorcycle, even a regular bike, always wear a helmet, bro. Like, because would you rather be a who looks uncool because you're wearing a helmet, I guess, or be a who's dead because you didn't wear a helmet?
This next situation falls just past midnight on April 1st, 2025, in Phuket, Thailand. The streets were mostly empty, the air was heavy, and it was the kind of night that felt slower than it actually was. But not for one guy. This rider was flying down Bypass Road on a red and black Honda Forza, probably just out for a ride, maybe trying to clear his head, maybe just pushing the throttle for the thrill of it.
We appreciate you, bro.
Whatever the reason, he was moving fast, very fast. Then, in a split second, everything went wrong. He lost control of the bike, and with no time to correct and no time to react, he slammed straight into an electricity pole. The crash wasn't just bad, it was horrific. The impact was so violent that it cut his body in half.
Oh, man.
His upper half was found under the pole. His lower half? Thrown almost 200 feet down the road. His heart and organs were scattered.
Come on, bro. Come on. Come on, bro. Chav, you know, but come on, man. Come on, bro. That's up.
Scattered across the scene. And somehow, his helmet was still on, but it didn't save him. Not from that. They later confirmed he was a Russian national. They never released his name and just let his story be another brutal reminder of how unforgiving speed can be.
Bro,
you always think it won't happen to you until it does. The haircut incident. In Manacapuru, Brazil, a small riverside
incident? Yeah, this thing got his scalp taken off, bro. That's the only thing that makes sense.
Town
or crashed into a barbershop, bro. The haircut incident
doesn't usually make international headlines would go viral for once, but for all the wrong reasons.
Y'all be speeding with nowhere to go, bro. Dead ass speed, bro, to go to the grocery store. Like, you would think, you ever see a car on the road and you're like, damn, they speeding like shit. Like, where the fuck they gotta go? Like, you nigga getting poom poom, nigga gotta go to the emergency room because they mom in there. Whole time, bro, going down the street, bro, to go to their man's house or some shit like those.
The man was riding his motorcycle through the city streets, and from the looks of it, he wasn't really going slow. While another biker was trying to make a left turn, the man unknowingly would get into a head-on collision with him. The crash would be so forceful that it would launch him right off of his bike, straight onto his head. And surprisingly, the accident wasn't too detrimental. He only suffered a couple of cuts and sprains to his body.
Okay, that's good.
That's what I would say if he was wearing a helmet. But once again...
Bro, yeah, GG's, bro. Yo, wear a helmet, gang.
This rider decided to ride without one. So... Instead, when he crashed and landed on his head, the force of the impact was so intense that it ripped the skin right off his scalp.
Oh,
It wasn't just a cut or a gash. His scalp was completely peeled back, exposing raw bone. And when I say raw bone, I literally mean that his skull, muscle, and the whole horrifying anatomy of a human head were exposed to the
bro. Second time in a video, bro.
world. A lot of people were confused by the bizarre nature of the accident and couldn't really understand how it could happen to a person.
He needs to wear a helmet, bro.
Horrifyingly enough, it happens a lot. The injury is called degloving. Imagine the skin on your body being torn off like a glove. Probably not the best thing to imagine, but that's what doctors describe it as, and that's what happened to this man. The fire truck incident. On the 15 freeway in
a lot of these are going to be because they weren't wearing protective gear, bro, or going extremely fast.
Rancho Cucamonga, California, a routine night drive turned into a deadly inferno, and it all started with a motorcyclist and a semi-truck. The exact reason isn't clear. No one knows if the biker swerved, miscalculated, or just didn't see the truck coming. But what we do know is that he collided with the big rig at freeway speed, which is anywhere from 65 to 85 miles per an hour, and the impact was devastating. As if smashing into a semi-truck on a motorcycle isn't already bad enough, the biker would be trapped underneath the vehicle while its diesel leaked out of its fuel tank.
I don't know how... I don't know how this can get any worse, bro. Like, this nigga's in the worst position ever, bro.
And unfortunately for him,
caught on fire.
The sparks from the accident would light both his motorcycle and the 30,000-pound semi-truck up in a blaze. The truck driver was quick enough to escape, but once again, since the biker was trapped, he was engulfed in what would be known as one of the biggest fires the freeway had seen in years. This fire was so
he was trapped. That's so bad, bro. It's like, what the fuck do you even do in that scenario? Literally every single thing is going wrong, bro. What the fuck?
Big that it took 3 fire engines to try to control the blaze, and the highway was shut down for hours. When they finally arrived at his body, they immediately called it the sign incident. In Thailand, sometime around 2000.
A lot of this shit be happening in Thailand, bro. Thailand, what's going on?
19 on a highway just outside of Bangkok, where
y'all know Josh, my cameraman, the nigga who edits these videos. Josh got in an accident in Thailand, bro. He was on a motorcycle, bro. And then the roads out there, I guess, are different. So, like, Josh ended up getting in an accident. He sprained his whole, like, not even sprained. He scraped his whole leg, bro. Like, his whole, like, leg was just red meat, bro. Like, that shit was, like, it was, like, 2 years ago when that happened, bro. Like, Thailand be having a lot of, like, motorcycle-type accidents.
Traffic moves fast, and helmet laws are, let's say, loosely followed. A guy, once again, not wearing a helmet, was riding his motorcycle at a high rate of speed, zooming in and out of traffic. While going down the road, his bike would randomly hit a pothole, and his attempt to avoid it would be where things went horribly wrong. He heavily swerved and got launched off his bike so forcefully that it'd throw him airborne and he'd go flying for a few seconds. Which actually sounds kind of fun, because bouncing and flying around in a controlled area is usually a fun experience. Whether you've gone bungee jumping, skydiving, or have randomly experienced flying in your dreams, I'd say it's a pretty enjoyable thing. Just not when you go flying headfirst into a road sign, which is what happened.
Nigga, I thought this nigga was about to be a transition to an ad, bro. Like, bro, I dead ass thought it was about to go to ad. Yeah, so bro was flying at 50 miles per hour. Whether you're skydiving, flying, or just having fun at a trampoline park. Hi, my name's Ryan Reynolds, bro. And today, I have a very, very, very important story for you today. Now, would you guys like to fly? Well, welcome to the theme park where you can fly. It's like, nigga, I was like, nigga, is this about to go to a sponsor, nigga? What the
to this guy? He was flung so hard at the road sign that it perfectly decapitated his head and left his body continuing on with its momentum. And disturbingly, his head actually hit the sign so hard that it became stuck to it. The scene was so brutal that it even traumatized seasoned first responders. And obviously, sadly, he passed away.
Damn, yeah, there was no way he was gonna survive that, bro. Like, wearing protective gear is crucial, bro. Like, this video has not made me want to ride a motorcycle anymore, bro. Floating ass subs, what the fuck?
2015, a motorcyclist in Shenzhen, or Guangzhou, a busy Chinese city, was on his way to work when he stumbled across heavy traffic and a very large cement mixing truck on the road. As is common in densely populated urban cities, he began lane splitting in between traffic to get through the cars. Funnily enough, this is actually a good thing for most bikers to do, as lane splitting lessens congested traffic and heavily reduces the risk of motorcycles getting rear-ended by cars that don't see them. So this rider gets a gold star for practicing smart riding. Ironically, however, when the light turned green, he accidentally dropped his bike and fell off of it right
this nigga about to get Yoshikage cured, bro. Maybe I'm wrong.
in front of that ginormous cement mixing truck I mentioned earlier.
I'm not wrong, I'm not wrong.
From bystanders, and they would all try to get the trucker to stop driving, but by the time he had even noticed he rode over anything, it was already too late. All 12 wheels of the 30,000-pound truck trampled over his body. The rider wasn't just crushed, he was effectively flattened into the road's pavement. Witnesses and first responders described his body as being no thicker than a sheet of paper on the road.
Like, there is, like, that was just, like, unfortunate timing, bro. That wasn't even, like, anything equipment-wise. Double R! Thank you for that motherfucking raid, bro. Thank you for that raid 37. I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you, gang. W-Mans, bro. W-Mans. They said change your shit to just chatting. Chat my shit out on just chatting and put it on news. But, yo, Double R, thank you for that motherfucking raid, though, bro. Thank you for that motherfucking raid. Appreciate you, gang. Appreciate you.
City sanitation workers and police disturbingly had to resort to using shovels to scrape his
the most painful motorcycle deaths ever.
Body off the road and put it into a dustpan. His body was so
they had to scrape this nigga all up with a dustpan? Fuck, bro.
City sanitation workers his body as being no thicker than a sheet of paper on the road. City sanitation workers and police disturbingly had to resort to using shovels to scrape his body off the road and put it into a dustpan. His body was so pulverized that he couldn't even be put into a casket for burial. I don't really know why you like traumatizing yourself with stories like these, but that's all for now. Have a happy day.
Fuck, bro. No, I gotta watch one more of this nigga's videos, bro, before we go to tabs, bro. The most painful extreme sport death ever, bro. Hold on, we're going straight into the bit, bro.
In the summer of 2013, in the Swiss Alps near Martigny, one of the world's most daring stuntmen prepared for what should have been another breathtaking descent. His name was Mark Sutton. He's a professional parachutist best known for his role in the London 2012 Olympics opening ceremony, where he famously jumped into the stadium dressed as James Bond alongside the Queen. But this time,
that is...
his jump would not end with applause. Sutton launched himself into the sky in a wingsuit, soaring across the mountain valley for 20 exhilarating seconds.
You know, this does look cool. I don't know if I would do it, but, like, it looks cool, though.
Soaring across the mountain valley for 20 exhilarating seconds, he glided like a bird, cutting through the air at speeds over 120 miles per hour. It was a sight few people on Earth would ever get to experience. But then, in an instant, it was gone. At 20 seconds into the flight, Sutton lost control. His trajectory veered off the correct pathway, and before he could recover, he slammed into the side of the mountain.
Holy sound effect, Mortal Kombat motherfucking Jack's ass sound effect, bro. Damn, there's no way he survived that shit, even with protective gear on, bro.
Slammed into the side.
God damn.
When they found him, his body was unrecognizable, and they were only able to confirm that it was him through DNA scans. Investigators later examined footage of the jump to understand what went wrong. Nobody knows if it was a miscalculation, a heavy gust of wind, or simply the razor-thin margin of error that comes with flying inches from the ground in a wingsuit. No matter the cause, the outcome was the same. One of the sport's most skilled pioneers had paid the ultimate price, and there was no bringing him back.
That must be sad as shit.
Friends described him as fearless, committed, and unforgettable. A man.
Do y'all feel like y'all could ever do like extreme sports, bro? Like some motocross where you're on a motorcycle jumping through the fire and shit, or like something like this? I'm cool. I know like to live life on the edge, and people like you only live once, or people are like stop being scared. But I'm not gonna lie, the scariest nigga survived the longest. I'm not gonna cap. So You know, a nigga like me just gonna chill being scared. Nigga, I'm trying to see GTA 6 come out.
Who had lived his life in moments that most people could only dream of. But in extreme sports, even 20 seconds can be enough to determine your fate.
The subway
Imagine
surfing
clinging
incident.
to the side of a speeding train. You climb to the roof with its steel rattling beneath your feet, wind screaming in your ears, and with your body being pumped full of adrenaline.
It's not even a sport. This is
That's
just like
train
pure
surfing,
idiocy.
one of the most dangerous extreme sports out there. Although in reality, it's more reckless thrill-seeking than an actual officialized sport. It started decades ago in places like South Africa, Russia, and Germany, spreading worldwide as a dangerous daredevil subculture. One of the most prominent areas train surfing has become a part of is New York.
Okay.
On a Saturday afternoon,
We knew it was New York though, man. New York and India probably the two places that still like low key is still doing this train surfing shit, man. Especially New York. We watched the whole video on those. Them niggas dead ass be thinking they about to have blue keys, man. Or watching an ad. Your life not gonna come back, bro. I don't know why niggas still doing this.
become a part of is New York. On a Saturday afternoon in the Greenwich Village, down in the tunnels of the West 4th Street subway station,
Damn.
trains thundered through the darkness, with their steel frames rattling the walls as they sped past. For most, it was just another commute, but for one man, it was his opportunity to go train surfing. Police say he had been riding on the outside of a southbound F train as it tore through the tunnels. For a few moments, he clung to the side of the moving car, then he climbed to the top, where he felt the rush of air and the roar of the tracks giving him a thrill like none other. I'm pretty sure most of you have played Subway Surfers at least once in your life.
Hell yeah, P games.
Whenever you hop on top of a train and make the mistake of hitting a tunnel, you'll fly off in a cartoonish manner where you're then arrested by that big back that's chasing you. You get a good laugh at it, then you play the game again. Yeah, it's nowhere near as hilarious in real life. It's horrible. As you could assume from this extremely dangerous and stupid sport, while the man finished climbing to the top of the train to get a gust of fresh air, he'd get more than he bargained for.
He gonna hit like
A tunnel
something,
showed
bro.
up, and before the man could even process what he
reaction
saw,
time
he
not on.
lost his head. Because of the extreme amount of air pressure being thrown at his body at the moment, he fell and was caught underneath the train.
Yo, this video is a little bit more graphic than the last one, bro, and sound effects and shit. Like, it's like you feel it, bro. I feel like bro got his wig split and then got hit by the train at high speeds, nigga.
At 3:11 p.m., a 911 call came in. Someone said they had seen a man slip beneath the subway earlier, and sure enough, when officers arrived, they found him under the train with his body decapitated. Whatever adrenaline he had been chasing ended instantly, and it was replaced by silence and horror in the underground. For the unfortunate commuters forced to pass the site, it was a grim reminder of the dangers lurking in the city's underground. But for police, it was just another entry in a long list of subway surfing tragedies. Quick little moments of thrill that collapse into
Niggas
traumatic
still be
memories
doing that
that
subway
both
surfing in
strangers
New York,
and loved
bro.
ones
I
alike
don't
will
understand,
never
bro.
forget. The adrenaline is never worth the risk. Your body is priceless. And while we're on the topic, the same goes for your mind. The whole reason I make these stickmen videos is so that you don't have to witness the real thing. Don't go.
Yeah, that's a good thing, because there's probably a channel out there, bro, probably not on YouTube, but somewhere out there who's doing these type of videos, but actually showing the real thing. And like, we just seen face plant into the pavement, get their head run over by semi trucks, hit stop signs, get decapitated by subway. So I'm actually glad that this this is animated, bro, and not like real.
Searching for these
I wouldn't be watching this.
videos online. The effect it has on your brain is horrible, especially if you're young. Traumatizing yourself isn't worth it, and trust me, I can promise you that. The slamming
Yeah,
incident.
chat, don't be watching them. Like, it's so crazy, chat, because we all seen that the crazy ass video this week, bro. But like, yo, like we realistically used to have to go on Live League or really search for that shit, bro. You had to go on the gauntlet, the dark web, to really find some like weird shit, some gore shit or some shock videos. Now that shit is just on Twitter, bro. Now that shit probably is, if you watch like one video that's similar, like of a nigga getting injured, bro, the next video on auto scroll probably won't be getting decapitated or something, bro. I don't know. Like, this shit is actually insane.
High in the Swiss Alps, the snow glistened under a cold April sky. For a young 21-year-old world champion snowboarder, this was more than a mountain. It was her playground, her stage, and most of all, her destiny. She had conquered countless competitions and had practically carved her name into the world of snowboarding. But on this day, the mountain carved back. The woman was being filmed for a project, showcasing her incredible skill as she cut across the steep alpine slopes. The cameras rolled, her board sliced through the powder, and everything seemed perfect. Then, without warning, the snow itself began to move. Like, a lot. In the blink of an eye, an avalanche broke loose. Tons of snow and ice thundered down the mountain, faster than any snowboarder could ever outrun. It should be known that on average, avalanches move at about 80 miles per hour.
Yeah,
at that speed, that's enough force to topple any building, rock, or tree caught in its path. Most of which...
Bro said an avalanche is that dangerous? You know how hard ice is, bro? Now imagine that shit moving that fast at you, like in heavy ice at that too. It's not like that, like you're getting a snowball thrown at you. Like it's heavy ass snow and ice, rock, just all hurtling towards you, bro.
Which are moving along with the avalanche whenever it's crashing down a mountain. It slammed into the woman with the force of a speeding vehicle, and she was swallowed by it instantly. Rocks, debris, branches, and heavy ice carved and tore at her body as she was dragged through the snow until its eventual finishing slam. Finally, the avalanche stopped, but the woman was missing. She laid buried alive deep within the frozen chaos, crushed and disfigured. Rescued...
And it's cold, bro. Even if you survive that, bro, there's frostbite too. Like, it's just cooked at that point.
Teams rushed in, digging through the snow and desperately searching for her. But by the time they found her, it was already too late. Even with safety gear and avalanche detectors, the force
Sleepy,
was
think for that prime. W sleepy,
This
W
woman,
sleepy.
once one of the brightest and youngest stars in snowboarding, was gone in seconds. Even
You know, one thing I find interesting, chat, is that I feel like sometimes I feel like, oh, I could never do that. Especially when I hear some like crazy shit about like an occupation, like being a pilot, for example. I would never be a pilot, you know? Like, it be confusing me, I guess, how sometimes people can hear things about jobs like, oh, this pilot crashed, or this pilot got into an accident, or this pilot got into an accident, and then be like, damn, I still want to do that. But I mean, it's good that not everybody thinks like me, because everybody thought like me, bro, we wouldn't have people doing those jobs. But like being a pilot or doing like these extreme snowboarding sports, bro, I just be hearing these stories and I'm like, damn, I never want to do that. But other people, there's rare cases, yet like should be rare cases, but it's just like, as a pilot, if I was a pilot, bro, I'm the type of who be thinking about bad stuff too much, like negative stuff. So in the back of my head while I'm flying that plane, bro, like I'm gonna just be thinking like, y'all ever be like doing some regular shit, y'all just got a evil voice in your head, bro? Like it's gonna make it sound like I got schizophrenia or some shit like that, bro. But I'll be a pilot, bro, and then in the back of my head, there's somebody talking about some crash that, and you're just looking around like, what the fuck, bro? What the fuck, bro? Like there'd be sometimes in life, bro, where there just be some intrusive ass thought, bro. Like you're just walking in the street, like you mean you just walking in the sidewalk, running to that car, and it's like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, like with stuff like this, when I hear about negative stuff like this happening, bro, like, I mean, you can't let that stop you from doing what you want to do in life, because like bad shit happens in every occupation, bro. Like literally in everything, like bad stuff happens. You can't let it stop you, but like shit like this, I'd be like, I can't do it. Right? Split personality. I have very bad thoughts. You should go ahead and contact a therapist. But you're loved, gang. I love you, bruh. And you're loved, bruh. And you're going to make it out. Trust.
Champions are fragile against nature. If you're an outdoorsy person like me, always be alert of its dangers. The Red Bull incident.
The Red Bull incident.
The arena was packed and its air was alive with cheers and the violent rhythm of tradition. In the center, a matador faced down his opponent. Not another fighter, not another man, but a bull weighing more than half a ton, bred for power, speed, and fury. At first, the fight went as expected.
This is another thing. I would never do that, bro. The bull's horn, bro, would literally puncture my shit.
Waved down his red cape, and the bull charged. As you'd guess, in the background, the crowd roared at each narrow escape. With over 2 decades of experience in the ring, this 39-year-old Spanish bullfighter was known as one of the best to do it in his time. He'd toss his cape to one side, effortlessly thwarting the bull's charge. Then he'd do it again, to make the crowd go wild. But then, in a heartbeat, the balance shifted. He'd put up his cape again for the bull to charge past him, but unexpectedly, it caught him. The bull slammed into the matador's face with a force that was so brutal that the horn struck him in his skull, fracturing upward through his jaw and out his eye.
Man, I really don't understand. Like, with the other ones thrill-seeking, you can obviously die from it, bro, but like, I feel like with like the running, not the running of the bull, but bull charging, bro. A bull's literally charging at you. Your rate of death is very high. Like it's like, gang, it's like a try not to, instead of a try not to laugh challenge, it's literally like a try not to die challenge. Literally, like you're like going in there, bro. There's like a 60, 70, 80% chance. That wasn't even supposed to be a joke, by the way. But there's like, bro, there's a high percentage of you like really dying in that bit. I don't know how to do it, and people enjoy watching it too.
He was hit directly in the head by a 1,000-pound bull's horn, effectively splitting his face in two. The crowd fell silent as blood poured onto the sand. The matador dangled helplessly, impaled by the animal until it heavily thrashed him off of its horn.
Oh my god.
The worst part is that the man was fully conscious. He rose back from the ground like a zombie and began screaming that he couldn't see, sending the crowd into a horrific panic. Other bullfighters jumped into the ring to distract the bull and to retrieve the man's body. Once again, his face was split in two, his teeth were shattered, his jaw and cheekbone were fractured, and the horn head punctured out his eye and pierced him right through his skull. But, to everyone's complete and total shock, the man actually somehow survived.
How the fuck did he survive that, bro? What the? Bro's durability is crazy, bro.
The horn pierced his skull and was dangerously close to his brain, but it missed. Against all odds, he returned back to the ring less than a year later.
Yeah, that's smoking penis, I'm not gonna lie. He's smoking the utmost of dick. If that happens to me, y'all never gonna see me again, bro. I'm gonna be living my life amongst the land, bro. I'm gonna turn Amish gang. That's serious, bro.
And he'd continue his passion. Juan Jose Padilla is now known as the Pirate of Bullfighting. In 2018, he'd experienced another horrible incident where he was scalped by a bull. Honestly, this man might just be invincible because he'd somehow survive once more, and he'd return back to the ring again.
Bro, go home, spend time with your family, gang. Where's your family? Where's your kids, bro? Not that he do got aura though. That eye patch, bro, and that outfit, that is aura. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. But yo, go home.
To continue, might just be invincible because he'd somehow survive once more, and he'd return back to the ring again to continue the sport. Extreme sports are, well, pretty extreme, and honestly, there's really nothing wrong with living life to the fullest. All I'd say is that adrenaline makes you feel invincible, but reality has no safety net. So, always, at least make sure the risk is worth the reward. As always, have a happy day.
Damn, bro. W video, bro. Those videos are really good. I'm not gonna hold. We're gonna put those on the live channel. Yeah, y'all be safe out here, man. It's getting tragic. With those extreme sports, I can't do it personally, but I watch y'all do it for sure if that's what y'all into and shit. But just be safe out here, bro, because I don't want to see you get scalped or hit by a bull in the motherfucking jaw or whatever. But yeah, if you're watching the live channel, Twitch do right in the description. Come to the stream. But yeah, IBBG.